Good morning again, and welcome back to the UT Tech Law Conference. We now have our second set of speakers who are going to be talking about a very, very timely topic, how COVID-19 will affect us at the workplace. We have two speakers. Frances Jeter is from Houston. She's the head of the Houston office from Sard Verbinnen & Co. She does financial and strategic communications consulting and works with Fortune 500 companies, handles public affairs and marketing, and has more than 25 years of experience with that. She received her bachelor's degree from North Carolina. Two fun facts about Frances: her work at Vincent Elkins, and Frances once backpacked 7 national parks in one summer, which seems like an amazing feat to me. Our other speaker is David Shalhays with Slack Technologies. David has been a general counsel at Slack, and before that at a few other companies you may have heard of, such as Salesforce and Groupon, and has extensive experience with being general counsel and all the things that come along with that at tech companies for more than 25 years. David got his bachelor's degree from Columbia and his law degree from Cornell. And so I look forward to this presentation very much.
Great, thank you, Steve, very much. I think, we're going from a very abstract topic, data rights and data ownership, to a very concrete topic, which is human beings. And that's really going to be, I think, the focus of the next 45 minutes or so. We've divided our presentation into really 4 sections. So the first thing we're going to talk about is issues for right now, so lockdown to reopening. Then we're going to turn to issues for very soon, which are directly related to a reopening. And then we want to talk about issues forever, which are really deeply related to employment law and issues of how you treat your employees. And then we want to talk a little bit more about the post-pandemic world. There's a cliche that runs around, which is never waste a crisis. And I think, probably you've heard your CEO say that, or members of your team say that, but we want to talk about what opportunities this crisis presents and how we might seize those opportunities. One observation, and then I'll turn it over to Frances for 1 second, but one observation is that Texas is basically open, which is interesting because I sit here in San Francisco, and most of California is very much not open. And so one of the things that we're going to dive deep on next is really the variability of regional and location-based laws and regulations. So Frances, I don't know, do you want to make a few opening remarks?
Certainly. Thank you, David. And really, I just wanted to say, David and I have discussed this because, of course, being located in Texas, we're dealing with companies really across the United States, many of which are open and others of which, like David, are still closed down. And it's been a fascinating experience. Slack is certainly one of our clients, and that's why this is such a great opportunity for us as we have the opportunity to speak to all of you in terms of the technology space, because we have seen different companies dealing with all of the same types of issues, but how they're dealing with them and dealing with them differently. But what we have seen is a lot of commonalities and lessons learned, because there are no textbooks about how to deal with a pandemic and shutting down businesses and how to reopen them while the pandemic is ongoing. So that's a lot of what we want to talk to you about today. Many of you have seen and attended webinars on what you've been doing and how you're going to reopen. We're going to run through those slides rather quickly, but what we are really focused on is the future and what does this mean for workplaces on an ongoing basis. And with that, I'll let David address some of those issues, many of which you've heard about, but with some nuances.